These funeral announcements presented by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. It's Curtis and Son Funeral Home. 256-245-4361. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mr. John C. McCall, age 72, of Sylacauga, died at his residence on Thursday. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Gregory Michael Leach, age 47, of Sylacauga, died July the 20th in Childersburg. Funeral service will be held Saturday at 2 p.m. from Wewoka Assembly of God. That's in Talladega. Burial in the Wewoka Cemetery. The Reverend Wayne Hammonds officiating. Visitation at the church on Saturday from 1 until 2. Online condolences at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Hunter Reed Haston of Chelsea died July the 19th. Funeral service this morning at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary at Meadowbrook Baptist Church in Birmingham, with burial in the Green Hill Memorial Gardens of Childersburg. In lieu of flowers, a family request donation be made to the Meadowbrook Baptist Church, 4984 Meadowbrook Road in Birmingham, 35242. Online condolences at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Barbara Ann Edwards, age 70, of Sylacauga, is Saturday at 1 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, with burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Edwards died July 14th at her residence. She attended the Rising Star Missionary Baptist Church. Visitation tonight at Radley Smith from 6 until 8. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Evelyn Virginia Foshie Watts of Munford will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Munford Church of Christ, with Brother Shane Clark and Richard O'Connor officiating. Burial in the Hillcrest Cemetery. The family receiving friends tonight at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega from 5 until 8. Mrs. Watts died Saturday, July the 16th. She was a native of Munford and a longtime member of the Munford Church of Christ and a pillar in her community. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Leah Carol Gatlin Watts, age 38, is Saturday at 11 a.m. from Munford Church of Christ, with Brother Shane Clark, Michael Snyder, and Ken Ballard officiating. Burial in the Hillcrest Cemetery. The family receiving friends tonight at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega from 5 until 8. Mrs. Watts died Saturday, July the 16th. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Roosevelt Moore, age 83, is 1 o'clock today at Antioch Baptist Church in Talladega, with the Reverend Matthew Leonard officiating. Interment in the Moore Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Funeral service for the Reverend Jerry Ware, age 75, is today at 1 p.m. from Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Burial in the New Hope Baptist Church Cemetery, also of Sylacauga. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Reverend Ware died July the 17th. Memorial service for Barbara Jones, age 61, of Alexander City, is Saturday at 2 p.m. from the Trinity branch of First United Methodist Church. The Reverend Jean Langford officiating. Miss Jones died Sunday, July 10th at her residence. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radneyfuneralhome.com. Radney Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Marcus L. Milford, age 89, of Alexander City, is today at 11 o'clock from the chapel of Radney Funeral Home. Randy Anderson officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. Mr. Milford died July 20th at Chapman Healthcare Center. Radney Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Jaceel Long Reed died July 21st at Brown Nursing Home in Alexander City. Visitation will be Saturday, July 23rd from 2 until 4 at Radney Funeral Home, with the service to follow at 4 p.m. In the chapel of Radney Funeral Home. Interment will be July 25th in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Radney Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. Jaceel was a member of the First Baptist Church of Alexander City. The station for Tommy H. Baker, age 46, of Alexander City, will be Sunday, July 24th at Radney Funeral Home from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Mr. Baker died Wednesday, July the 20th. And memorial messages may be sent to the family at radneyfuneralhome.com. Radney Funeral Home in Alexander City directing. Mr. Roger William Thrasher, age 71, of Talladega, died July the 20th at UAB in Birmingham. Funeral service 3 o'clock today at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, with the Reverend Kevin Jones officiating. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family will receive friends for 1 hour prior to the service. Mr. Thrasher was a lifelong resident of Talladega. He served in the Navy and was a member of the Talladega Creek Baptist Church, also a member of the Talladega Rescue Squad. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega directing. Funeral service for Mr. Harold Posey, age 82, is today at 2 o'clock from Mount Zion Baptist Church in Cropwell. Pastor Cameron Thomas officiating. Interment in the church cemetery. Sims Funeral Service, Talladega directing. And many of you may remember the Mustard Seed Christian Bookstore in Sylacauga from a number of years ago. It was on Broadway, and I think it was out in the Marble City Plaza, or one of the plazas here in town. But Reverend Jackie Lee Simpson, better known as Jack, Reverend Jackie Lee Simpson died recently, and there will be a celebration of life, and that was held already over at Berry Highland Memorial, and burial was held in the Berry Highland Memorial Cemetery. Now, I, like many of you, knew Jack Simpson for a number of years, and at that time, a very key link to our community, and his wife Linda, and of course the children, and Reverend Jackie Lee Simpson. Of course, Jack had the Mustard Seed Christian Bookstore in Sylacauga, and I just remember that that was one of the first Christian bookstores I remember in this town. He also pastored, some of you might remember, at the Oldfield Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Of course, he survived by his wife Linda and 2 other children, son Rick and daughter Laurie. So those of you who remember Jack, please can pray for their family as they mourn the loss of the Reverend Jackie Lee Simpson, better known as Brother Jack. 2:30 after the hour, that's a look at obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations in Sylacauga and Childersburg is Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361.